Oh shit. Falcon fans, Falcon fans, Falcon fans. And of course, good old Atlanta Falcon fans, man. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. One time for the fan. We back talking Falcons football in a Falcon way. Man, free agency has begun. So all you Falcon fans out there, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. Man, we outside. We are everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Going down in a major way. Chat is live. Chat is lit. Fans in the stands are here. Pop-up podcast. Yes, a pop-up podcast. This is not the scheduled podcast that usually comes on Sunday nights at 8, Wednesday nights at 8, Friday mornings, breakfast with One Time for the Fan. Big shout to T-Will, former ATL Sports, One Time for the Fan. Big shout to Miss Carrie, one time. Big shout to Bodie 3000, one time. Full proof, man. Chat, what can we talk about tonight? This is just real quick to do a podcast. I know a lot of people probably already went live. See T-Will, Carrie, and Eric had an amazing show earlier. Big shout out to them for the Terry, Carrie, and Eric show. Then of course Uncle Steve went live too as well. A couple other content creators probably already did their podcast earlier in the day. With all this breaking news going on, Falcon fans. Man, where do we start? The Atlanta Falcons. It's definitely free agency week. And of course, I don't know if fans expected to see this amount of moves being made from the Atlanta Falcons with the salary cap that they have. But the Atlanta Falcons was able to come away with some players today. Not so big, flashy, splashy signings. Then again, we do have one that I'm sure we're going to spend a lot of time talking about here. Also got some news on the James Pierce Jr. situation, which I ain't going to spend too much time on. I think it's getting, way out of hand right now for this young man and what he's going through. Also, shout out to Miss Jackson too as well for what she's going through. But chat, man, it's a beautiful night here in Atlanta. Of course, with the free agency just opened, the fans in the stands are in the chat, man. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. I don't know if we hit 1,200 subscribers yet. I think we're almost there. But if not, first time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man. We definitely want to run the numbers up, run the comments up, run the likes up, get us in that algorithm amongst some of the Falcon fans that do not know about One Time for the Fan. But it's going to be a great time here tonight. Not no 4-hour podcast or 3-hour podcast. We'll probably be on here maybe an hour or less. So for those in the chat, definitely bring your comments, bring your questions. We're going to talk some Falcons football here tonight on One Time for the Fan. Matter of fact, let's get to the fans in the stands, right? Let's get to the fans in the stands, see what y'all talking about here tonight. Who we got? We got Mark's cousin Cummings in the chat. He said, "What's good, family? Great content as always. But fam, your thoughts on free agency so far?" And we just signed Christian Harris, linebacker from the Texans. Low key with what we're working with, not bad at all. Definitely, I will get to these names tonight, and of course, my thoughts on the free agency for the Atlanta Falcons. Didn't know they were going to hit the ground running like they did today, but sure enough, they did. Dwayne Ruffins in the chat. He said, "Let's get it. We got motion." Yeah, we got some motion. All right. Definitely got some motion, man. We're going to talk about this here tonight. Big shout out to Dwayne Ruffin in the chat. Charles West is in the chat. He said, "What up, Jack?" Shout out to Charles West. What up, Charles? What's going on, brother? Good to talk to you tonight here on One Time for the Fan. Ray 50 is in the chat. He said, "What up, Spades?" Shout out Ray 50. Ray 50 is in the chat. Big shout out to Ray 50. You got Charles West back. He said, "I like these signings. Cameron Thomas is underrated. Good debt piece nobody is talking about." Sometimes that's a good thing when you got nobody talking about some of these players, because even Divine Diablo was in that situation too as well, where he was signed from the Falcons last year. And of course, some fans were like, "Who the hell is Divine Diablo? How is he going to come in here, fill up this middle linebacker role the way that we expected to be filled. And sure enough, Devon Diablo has become a fan favorite quickly. So let's hope that Cameron Thomas, who has experience with Kevin Stefanski over there in Cleveland too as well, that he can come over here and make something happen. We'll definitely get a chance to talk about him too as well. Jeremiah Williams in the chat said, Falcon fans, what's up? Jack Spade today went crazy all day. Hey, man, I'm feeling good. I'm sure you're feeling good about it. Could have been some more bigger moves, I'm sure the Falcon fans were expecting, but we ain't got no money like that. These type of deals we had to make today was for the organization. It was for the depth. It was for building back what we lost. And we did lose some players today too as well. Big shout to DA Hunter in the chat with the one time. Shout out to DA Hunter. Oh, who we got here now? We got Craig in the chat. He said Falcons have all that money because they haven't paid Jack for cutting the grass. Man, Craig, you already in here early with the jokes, and I got one for you too, Craig, in just a minute, because I know you're in here to talk some Falcons football tonight. We did go over the grades at the Falcons facility a couple weeks ago. Sure enough, the Falcons with the B- in the locker room. Your janitorial duties are slipping here, Craig. I'm really concerned about that, right? I don't know what new supplies, what new cleaning supplies you're using, right? But getting a B-, that's unexpected. I was expecting you to at least bring in your new housekeeping crew and get that locker room back shining and spotless, man. But for some reason, we got a B-, man. Charles West said, I see us signing Reek Willen and David Njoku this week. That would be big right there too as well. You just go out and sign David Njoku after signing Austin Hooper today. Is it possible that they could be moving on from Kyle Pitts, Charles West? I mean, especially with David Njoku, that's a name who's still out there in the market. There's a lot of big names in the market. Guess what, Falcon fans? Caden Ellis didn't get signed today. Right? Maybe he is probably, talking to his agents and fielding calls from some teams, but Caden Ellis is a name who's still out there. I got a couple of names right here on this list who's still available too as well. Auntie Pam's in the chat. Big shout out to Auntie Pam. She said, hello, Jack. Everyone in the chat, happy free agency signing. Big shout out to Auntie Pam. AFN Ladybirds is in the chat. John Brooks is in the chat. He said, Jack, I'm going to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of the Tua signing, but I understand why we signed him. I get he is insurance for Michael Penix. Well, we're going to get to that too as well. It's a part of our offseason news and updates here as we talk about the free agency. I want to get everybody's thoughts on every single signing that was today. Are you guys on the negative side? Are you guys on the positive side? How do you guys feel about it? Because there's really no topics for tonight otherwise than what happened in free agency today. Right? Of course, one time for the fan, being from the fan for the fan. This show is dedicated to y'all, especially on the pop-up podcast, putting all the comments up here on the screen tonight, letting everybody see what you guys think. Of course, you guys do a good job talking amongst each other in the chat too as well. So please bring us your thoughts, your facts about what you got on some of these players, how you feel about the Tua situation, the Austin Hooper situation. David O is out the building. D. Alford is out the building. Tyler Algier off to the Arizona Cardinals. That right there was a tough one to watch too as well. So I saw fans chatting on social media. I saw fans chatting on other podcasts too, as well as I chimed in with my thoughts. And I just want to get y'all thoughts tonight on what the Atlanta Falcons did today in free agency. Of course, this is just day one. Right? Could they make some more moves? Could some more things happen this week? Possibly. But the amount of moves they made today, they didn't really attack the trenches. So that's also something to watch for too as well. They possibly could go more trench work when they get to the draft. Maybe they go day 2 and day 3, making some signings over there in the trenches too as well. I'm sure fans would love to see some stuff like that. Charles West back in the chat, he said, we changed the special team with the Folk and Bailey signing. Both of them, they have experience with Craig Ackerman, our special teams coordinator, who just came over from Miami, of course. Jake Bailey, I think his name is, the 3-year deal that he got as the punter. No more Bradley Pinion here in the building. So, of course, he'll be here doing the best he can on special teams. That was one of the departments that we had some trouble with recently here. Of course, with Coach Williams being out the building and A big player on the special teams like Cordell Hodge, one of our gunners, not being back in the building. Bradley Pinion was a name that fans were probably looking at, could be on the way out. Zane Gonzalez, who I'm sure fans wanted to keep, going for here in Atlanta for the next couple of years. He looks like he's going to be on the way out too as well. Maybe he could come back if there's a Nick Folk problem. Nick Folk, isn't he the kicker that iced us last year in the Jets Falcons game in New York? Nick Folk? Falcons signing players who I guess helped us shed some tears last year. It's kind of disappointing. But then again, at the end of the day, they brought in some players that who they feel is good for this system and can do the best they can to help get some wins out here. Of course, we have Teco in the chat. Shout out to Teco in the chat. He said Tua move is a win-win, no doubt. Definitely, Teco, tell us why the Tua move is a win-win. Tell these fans in the chat why they think the Tua move is a win-win. Chat, we're going to get to the Tua situation, so I definitely want to get your comments about that too as well. Ray 50 says, Spades, what are our needs now in the draft? Nose tackle, center, wide receiver, offensive tackle, linebacker. Until they address everything else in free agency, right now, off of day one, you got to look at offensive line. You got to look at the center position. You got to look at that nose tackle position. Troy Anderson, too, as well, is possibly going to be back here. Yes, Troy Anderson, Falcon fans. I know that's a name that we probably haven't talked about here since 2024, but Troy Anderson is back in the building. Could he help fill that role next to Divine Diablo in that linebacker spot? And, of course, with his injury history, do the Falcons decide to go get an additional linebacker? I know Christian Harris was brought in, too, as well today from the Texans. But you can never go wrong with enough depth, right? You can never go wrong with that if you sign the right players to help Jeff Ulbrich in this scheme, because our defense was pretty decent last year. And, of course, if Troy Anderson comes back, hasn't had the opportunity to play for a coach like Jeff Ulbrich, maybe he could be a big part of that missing piece to help fill, that run stuff game. Troy is a downhill attacker when it comes to linebacking. Right? When he gets after it, of course, you've seen Troy on healthy days. He's not that bad. I know some fans out there have kind of ranked on Troy in the past couple of years for his play on the field. He's a young linebacker. I mean, the Falcons drafted him. I think it was in the second or third round, a couple years ago. But when the Falcons brought him in, they brought him in to help, that linebacker core, that unit that didn't have a Divine Diablo, right? They didn't have Jalen Walker. They didn't have James Spears Jr. on the edge. Of course, this team was going through a lot at that time. Troy Anderson, who some fans thought would be, more on the upside of things when it comes to what he can get done for this linebacker unit and for this defense, but he was battling significant injury early in his career. Now he is back, it looks like, to suit up for the Atlanta Falcons. Blue Jacket for Life is in the building. Said, people mad with the Tua signing? Please explain where you can get a legit starter as a backup for a little over $1 million. The Falcons have wasted more than that on Troy Anderson. And hey, the Dolphins will be taking care of Tua's, majority of that contract. But of course, the Falcons getting him on that vet minimum deal, does it send, the right statement to Falcons fans that, he could possibly be the starter? Is it setting the wrong statement to Michael Penix that, there's going to be a competition battle, your job is in jeopardy? Right now in March, it's very difficult to say that. But I do know that with Tua's recent, career in Miami, he had some bad runs. Of course, he had Mike McDaniels over there too as well. He did have Tyreek on the outside. He did have Jalen Waddle on the outside. He did have Mostert and Devin Arcane behind in the backfield. And, they beat us last year, which is kind of crazy because that was a team that we was expecting to get a win off of early in the season. I remember fans would look at the schedule and say, oh, they're 1-6. They're 2-5, I think it was, when they came into Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Sure enough, coming away with a big win over us. I believe Tua went 20 for 26 that day. 4 touchdowns, over 200 plus, 225, I think he threw on the air. It just went crazy on us. And that was my birthday. And I was sitting there like, how are we letting the Dolphins beat us? Sure enough, a year later, or less than a year later, Tua is now an Atlanta Falcons. So it's crazy to see what has happened in the past couple months. But I got some information here from Cameron Wolf, who's been reporting on, not only other NFL teams, but of course on the Falcons too as well. And he got some inside of what could be happening this summer with the Atlanta Falcons and of course Tua and Michael Penix. So we'll get to that in just a minute. John Moreno's in the chat checking in. Big shout out to John Moreno. He said, "Good evening, Jack. Welcome back, Hooper and Olamide Zaccheaus." That's right. Olamide Zaccheaus is back in the building, former Falcon, a Matt Ryan guy. So I'm glad that they went and got somebody that they can trust on that receiver role. Matt Ryan, definitely has had some decent years here when Olamide Zaccheaus was in the building. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and flip that. Olamide Zaccheaus has had some decent years here with Matt Ryan was in the building. Only problem was Matt Ryan was the quarterback. Now Matt Ryan is one of the executives in the front office. That does sound like a Matt Ryan move. Austin Hooper too as well, who knows Matt Ryan very well. He's back in the building coming from a Patriots team that just went to the Super Bowl. Right. So what can Austin Hooper bring? And of course, these contracts. Ian Cunningham. Let's give a round of applause. Matter of fact, let's give a round of Ian Cunningham for some of these contracts that he was able to work out. So Falcon fans know that we wasn't overpaying for some of these players. And I see Falcons just tweeted Hayden Hurst just retired too as well. So some fans were like, bring back Hayden Hurst, bring back Tevin Coleman, bring back Devontae Freeman. I don't think we're rebuilding back, all of the reunion style players that used to play here for Atlanta. But 2 players back in the building is actually pretty cool. Then, the buddy system with Bailey and Nick Folk that knows Craig Ackerman, which is actually pretty good because on special teams, we needed to, upgrade in some things. Maybe Nick Folk could be a big help to us in that kicking game. I think the punting situation, people saw Bradley Pinion's punts, and of course, Bradley Pinion's start to decline. For me, I've seen a little bit too much of Bradley Pinion when I was like, man, come on, bro. We got to pin this ball back to the 20. We got to pin this ball back, back to the 5 or back to the 10. And I did see some good punts from Bradley Pinion, but obviously when your special teams coach gets released, and of course the team wasn't in the top 10 of the pack in special teams, it was at the back of the pack, you start making some adjustments in that area. And of course, they brought in a new punter. Of course, they brought in a new kicker too as well. But Olamide Zaccheaus, Austin Hooper, back in the building. It's good to see those 2 former Falcons too as well. Let's see what they can do to help move these chains. Kevin Stefanski being a tight end guy, having Austin Hooper in the building. Is Kyle Pitts going to stay here long term? If he is, Austin Hooper has done a decent job up there in New England with the way that they was working him and Hurst too as well. And he's a blocker. He's a big physical guy too as well. Let's see what Austin Hooper can bring. Also, don't forget Austin Hooper in that pass catching game too as well. He can get down the field. He can get open on some routes. You got to be careful about Austin Hooper. He could be a sleeper. Not saying he's going to go out there and get 50, 60, 70 catches, but Austin Hooper can be a guy, red zone target when you least expect it, 3rd down and 3 when you least expect it, because a lot of teams might not game plan for an Austin Hooper. They're focused on Drake. They're focused on Bijan. They're focused on Kyle Pitts. And then there goes your boy Austin Hooper right there, cutting up the seam, getting a couple quick passes from whoever's going to be throwing the ball. It could be Tua, it could be Michael Penix. Charles West says, sign David Njoku and trade Pitts for a second. Man. Trading Pitts already? That's what we're doing on day 2 of free agency, trading Pitts? Hey, if Falcon fans want to talk about it, we'll talk about it. For me personally, you need these weapons to move these chains, and David Njoku definitely could be a big weapon, knowing that he knows Kyle Stefanski in this offense, Tommy Reese too as well. But at the end of the day, sometimes you can't really count out Pitts being a couple yards away, shy of 1,000 yards last season. You saw what he did to Tampa Bay. He's the Tampa Bay cooker from what he's done. And of course, Kyle Pitts has been playing with multiple quarterbacks, right? I think the Falcons owe Kyle Pitts an apology because At one point, it was Matt Ryan. After Matt Ryan, it was Desmond Ritter, then Marcus Mariota, then Taylor Heineke, Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix. Hell, even I went out there and threw a couple passes to Kyle Pitts. So, you know, I'm not going to get into the trade Pitts saga just yet. I want to see how this free agency plays out. If an Njoku signing comes up, Charlie Warner could possibly be out the building. The guy Quentin Tiatagan, I can't want to butcher his name. I just call him QT or TQ, whatever his name is. He could be out the building too as well. But in this offense, the way that Kevin Stefanski uses these tight ends, could Kyle Pitts could I'm sorry, what the hell? Could Kyle Pitts be of some pretty good productive usage for this offense? I think it's very much so possible. We saw what he did last year with Kirk and Penix. Now you have Tua and Penix in the building. Let's see how that goes. I'm sipping a little bit of this Tito's right here. Some Tito's and crayon out of my Falcons cup right here. Feeling very good about the Atlanta Falcons right now. Even though these ain't the splashiest moves, we got what we can get because that's what we have. If we had 100 million, it'd be totally different. We had 80 million, might be totally different. What we have right now in the market for our value, for our price, is what we can come away with. That's why we can sign Olamide Zaccheaus, who just played with the strong Bears team, who has ties to Ian Cunningham. That's why we can go get an Austin Hooper on a 1-year deal, right? That's why we can sign a Jahan Dotson, who we talked about last night. It's crazy what 24 hours can make, or 24 hours can do here in the NFL. Because last night we went over some names of who the Falcons could possibly target. And we talked quarterbacks. We talked defensive line. We talked about the wide receivers. And Jahan Dotson was a name that we mentioned that we said it's a possible fit for him being here in Atlanta. Less than 24 hours later, this young man is now in the building. The Eagles, of course, with their wide receiver room, kind of got lost in the sauce with Jahan Dotson, right? Now he's able to make a name for himself here in Atlanta, which he definitely made a name for himself in Philadelphia because that's why the Falcons targeted him. But now he's able to make even more of a name for himself here in Atlanta. Could he be the number 2? Could he be the number 3? Right now, we don't know. They can go draft the guy in the second round. And next thing you know, that guy becomes the number 2 or the number 3. They can go sign somebody tomorrow. And next thing you know, the Falcons are like, well, how is this wide receiver room looking? I just know that before today, it was just Drake London, Casey Washington, and a couple guys that they signed to their future reserves list. But now you have 2 more receivers that fans are trying to, put together their depth chart and trying to see where Olamide fits in. Where does Ozzy fits in? When Ozzy was here before, he was a number 2, right? So can Ozzy go back and play that role again to be a number 2 alongside Drake? His route running is decent. Pass catching ability is decent. Does he put up big numbers like, T. Higgins and some of these other number 2 receivers? Not really, but we need to see OZ in a system that can get him the ball when that time is needed. And I'm sure with this Falcons offense, with the weapons that we have now, with a Bijan Robinson, who can control most of your first downs and short yard situations. And I've seen Bijan Robinson turn 1st and 10 into 1st and 10. Not too many running backs in the NFL can do that, right? So when you have a guy like that who's taking a heavy part of that workload off of you, and then you have a quarterback and a group of wide receivers who can stretch the ball down the field and move the chains, that's why that Kyle Pitts signing and that Kyle Pitts extension, what am I talking about? The Kyle Pitts tagging is kind of significant because you might need Kyle Pitts in this offense. Then again, you get a guy like Njoku, it's a different story, right? Let's see what the Falcons could cook up on day 2 here in the NFL free agency. Dexter Owens in the chat. He said mixed reviews. Is it mixed reviews on Tua? Is it mixed reviews on the free agency? Mixed reviews on the team? Let us know, Dexter Owens. Big shout out to Dexter Owens in the chat. Falcon fans, we got a lot of people in here, man. A lot of people keep jumping in. Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button, tag your Falcons friends, and tell your Falcons family, man. One time for the fan is live. Once again, big shout T. Will, big shout Miss Carrie, big shout Bodie 3000, man. It's going down in a major way. Tech was in the chat. He said, I feel better if we re-up on 55. Hey, man, there's a lot of players still not signed yet. And as big as the player that we thought, Caden Ellis was going to be today, is it possible that Caden Ellis returns to the Atlanta Falcons? Of course, the contract with D offered. The Falcons felt like they didn't want to match anything. They felt like they didn't want to go up on the price for him, knowing that he has gotten better every season and that value, that market was going to go up for D offered. D offered landed in Buffalo. Big shout out to D offered, man. Team Glow. David O too as well, going to the Jets, right? And Tyler Algier too as well. They felt like they didn't want to touch these contracts. Is it possible? That would be a big move for tomorrow for the Falcons, right? They might sign a couple debt pieces, 1-year deal guys. And we mentioned this on the podcast before. With the money that you have, there's going to be a lot of 1-year deal. It's going to look like Terry Fontenot in his first year when he got here because the money's low, right? And you got to pay Drake London next year. You got to pay Bijan Robinson real soon. The money's not in the 70, $80 million market right now for the Atlanta Falcons. You got to get what you can get with what you got. And that's why you have an Austin Hooper. That's why you have a Jahan Dotson. That's why you couldn't get some of these big flashy names that were out there in the market. The John Franklin Myers deal, you wasn't paying that for John Franklin Myers. A lot of Falcon fans were posting on social media, John Franklin Myers, John Franklin Myers. I was on the wagon too. When you saw that contract Tennessee gave him, it's like, we wasn't touching that. No way possible. No way possible. Charles West said, we can also sign David Njoku with the money from release of Charlie Warner. That is true. Charlie Warner is a name. I think it's like 3.5, maybe 4.5 that they can get back from Charlie Warner. Do they want to go ahead and release Charlie Warner? Are they going to keep Charlie Warner here? I think with that blocking scheme that they can use with Charlie Warner, putting him maybe in a fullback role, putting him maybe in those, those motion sets where you saw last year with Zach Robinson, they was able to use Charlie Warner to help block for Bijan. He's a solid blocker. He's been that for years. Now, that's a move that the Falcons organization is going to have to make. Of course, with Austin Hooper being signed today too as well. Where do they go with Charlie Warner? That should be something that we could see coming up real soon. Nathan Floyd is in the chat. He said, not bothered by the Tua signing. I really like the signings of wide receiver Jahan Dotson and linebacker Christian Harris. Christian Harris, I believe, played 26 or 27 games over the past couple seasons. He was battling some injury too as well. But he came from the Houston Texans. He came from a team that was solid on defense, right? You saw what D'Amico Ryans did with that defense over there in Houston. If Christian Harris is healthy, you can get a guy who can really assist tremendously in that linebacker room. And of course, Arnold Ebiketie is a name that we haven't heard nothing about. Leonard Floyd is a name that we haven't heard nothing yet. D'Angelo Malone is a name that we haven't heard nothing yet too as well. Josh Woods, J.D. Bertram. What are they going to do with some of these guys? There's that full evaluation process still going on with the Atlanta Falcons as they are still signing these players and bringing in new bodies. Because you know how it is in the NFL, man. You lose a couple bodies, you gain a couple bodies, man. It's just what it is, man. Can the Falcons move on from Jake Matthews next year? Please do. Blue jacket for life. Let me take a sip of my tea. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button, man. One time for the fan, from the fan, for the fan. Big shout out to everybody here in the chat, man. We're talking Falcons football on a pop-up podcast. Big shout out to everybody. Jake Matthews was drafted in Atlanta Falcon, and Jake Matthews will retire in Atlanta Falcon. I'm gonna stand on it. He's done too much here for the organization. He's done too much here as an offensive lineman. You know how Arthur Blank is, man. He didn't even want to let Julio go at one point. I'm sure it was tough watching Roddy White walk up out the building. Matt Ryan, Grady Jarrett. Look at these guys that did years here in Atlanta. How long has Jake Matthews been in Atlanta, Falcon fans? I think Jake Matthews retires a Falcon. You're going to go to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium 5-6 years from now, Ring of Honor, Jake Matthews. Jersey retirement and all. Jake Matthews is a true product of the Atlanta Falcons. Drafted by the Atlanta Falcons, blood, sweat, and tears. Now, then again, some people might say, hey, man, he's getting to that point in his career where we got to look at it. He's getting up there. Every player gets up there. That's why you go through these draft evaluations. You go through these free agency offers and these moves to see who could be the next Jake Matthews for your team. If they go and draft an offensive tackle with the second round pick this year, who's a stud, a diamond in the rough, that could be the replacement. But for right now, what I see, Jake Matthews is going to retire a Falcon, man. That's just my opinion from one time for the fan. Cass T's in the chat said, what about Ritter? Oh, DoorDasher? Where they at? Hey, you can leave it outside by the door, man. I'm on a podcast. What about Ritter? What happened to him? What's going on? What did I miss? Let me know now. Just let me know.
Bruh.
Just let me know. What I miss about Ritter? I'm just saying. We done moved on from that. Nathan Floyd's in the chat. 41-year-old kicker Nick Folk. Some fans wanted 44-year-old Joe Flacco. Now, I know a quarterback is different than a kicker. I understand. But Nick Folk has experience in the league. He's been around for quite some time. It seems like that is a move, and I'm going to be respectful here, like we always are one time for the fan. We respect the organization. We respect the players, player family. We have a lot of player family and players who watch the show. Nick Folk seems like a move where they went to Craig Ackerman and they asked him, who do you think we can bring in for a kicker if it's not Zane Gonzalez? And Craig said, oh, I've worked with Nick Folk before. We can use Nick Folk. Same like bringing the Dolphins punter over here too. It's a Craig move. He came from the Dolphins. Just saying. It's just what it seems like. Buddy. That buddy system is not far from Flowery Branch. Matt Ryan went straight buddy with the first couple moves today. Buddy. Austin Hooper, Olami Zaccheaus. People are like, wait, I still got the Falcons. I still got the Austin Hooper jersey when he was drafted here. People had the Olami Zaccheaus jersey. That's why I said don't throw away these jerseys. Keep them. You never know. Hell, D. Offer might be back in a couple years. You never know. Blue Jacket said Matt Bryant was an old kicker that produced for the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, Matt Bryant was. Putting a lot of work over here in Atlanta too as well. Shout out to Matt Bryant. Dixon Way's in the chat, content creator, Falcons podcaster. Make sure you go check out the Dixon Way. I know Dixon Way is going to be, I know he's going to be front and center at camp. Ooh-wee. You got to see this. Got to see it to believe it. Marcus Cummins said, family quick info, D. Offer just signed with the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, he signed earlier today. $10 million guaranteed, 3-year deal, $21 million. He's out there. Online Tuna checking in from New Zealand, man. We got fans from all over the world checking in, man. Online Tuna is in New Zealand. He said Mario Tua. Sheesh. Hold on, let me get this sound effect ready for you, man. The boy said Mario Tua. Sheesh. God, not Mario Tua. How you feel about that move, Online Tuna? Tucker said Tua at a vet minimum, insurance, scheme fit, and also competition. We believe in you, Penix, but keep it on a swivel, homie. Hold on now. Let me bring it back. Sheesh. I'm gonna have to use that one a lot today. I'm about to move that to the top of the soundboard. Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Oh, Llama Day, Jack. Oh, Llama Day Zaccheaus. Oh, Llama Day. Oh, Llama Day Zaccheaus. What's it? Bring back Mo Sanu. Bring back Muhammad Sanu, too. Bring them all back. If Muhammad Sanu still got something in the tank, bring it back. Eric Max in the chat said it seems like they are finding depth at every position. You get what you can get with what you got. But then again, you not only got depth today, but you found a starter or two. Y'all know Olami Zaccheaus is going to be on the field week 1, right? Y'all know that. Y'all know Dotson's going to be on the field week 1, right? You know that. We can see, we can read between the lines of what they're doing there. We needed wide receiver help. They got wide receiver help. We talked about the wide receiver market. Look at Shaheed from the Seahawks. He got paid. He wasn't finna touch that. You don't got the money. I think Jalen Naylor went to the Raiders. And who's to say of all these names that we don't know about who they called? We don't know if they called them. That first move that was made with Zacchaeus and Austin Hooper was like, oh, Matt Ryan, you dirty dog, you. Matt Ryan. That's a Matt Ryan thing. It's got to be a Matt Ryan thing. It's good to see Matt Ryan working with Kevin Stefanski and everybody right now. A little worried about the D, though. We ain't done nothing. Day one. I can tell you this. This is what the offseason is about. And Tekel, you know. Eric Mack, you know. John Moreno, everybody in the chat, you know. This is what the offseason is about. We're not day one Falcon fans. We've been here for a long time. This is what March brings. Then April, then May, the draft. Then you go find those players that got cut in August. You got to build to 53. You got to build back to 53. You're going to have 90 players in the building in a couple of months at camp, sweating it out in the sun to make it to the depth chart. Could day two be totally different than day one? Possibly. I don't think they go out there and get 5, 6, 7, 8 guys tomorrow. Maybe a couple contract restructures. Get some more money up. Build back the cap a little bit. Maybe they go back Wednesday after they do all these signings and we get the final details of all the money and the final I's and the dotted I's and the crossing of the T's here on the contracts and find out what do we have left. Mooney's gone. D'Alford's gone. Tyler Algier's gone. David O is gone. Kirk Cousins is gone. Right? There's a couple of things we got to talk about here. John Moreno, would I really want to see Matt Ryan to bring Julio Jones back as receiver? Now, John Moreno.
Bruh.
John Moreno.
Bruh.
You know Julio Jones ain't getting out that Ferrari. What would be great to see, at least before you bring him back as this coach or this specialist on the team, bring him back to training camp first. Let the fans see him. That's one thing that we noticed about Matt Ryan. He hung around training camp randomly a lot, didn't he? Matt Ryan would be at training camp on this day. Fans would line up. Matt Ryan's there with the ice cubes. He's over there taking a knee in the huddle. He's talking with some of the quarterbacks. He's talking with the coaches. And then sure enough, years later, what happened? Matt Ryan's an executive in the front office. Tekel said, no, it's obvious Pitt struggles reading on offense, but he is that physically talented. Pitts can get after it if you get him in a situation, in a scenario for him to get after it. Zach Robinson, I don't think, targeted Pitts the way that he was supposed to. And that's why in football, there's these circumstances that these players can play under for different organizations, for different teams. Kyler Murray might have been trash in Arizona, but he might be really good in Minnesota or New York, wherever he's going to go. Same thing for Tua. Tua could have had a bad run in Miami, come over here. Next thing you know, we're first in the division going to the playoffs. Sam Darnold had a bad run. Not every quarterback is Sam Darnold in that situation. Sam Darnold had a bad run. He was drafted in the first round. But he went to what? The Jets? Look at Mac Jones. Fans were calling for Mac Jones. We got to get Mac Jones. We got to get Mac Jones. We got to trade for Mac Jones. Because of what Mac Jones did last season. I didn't hear no fans calling for Mac Jones 2 years ago. Not one. But Mac Jones playing under Kyle Shanahan. Malik Willis. Malik Willis got paid, man. Those 12 completed passes got him paid. Now he's probably getting ready to run that offense in Miami. He played under LaFleur. He played under a QB-style coach that can help him get better at his weaknesses and help build those weaknesses into strengths. We have a coaching staff here, and that's one thing I think people overlook. We have a coaching staff here that can help build these weaknesses from these quarterbacks and turn them into much better quarterbacks. It's all on the quarterback now to go get the job done. There is so much experience on that coaching staff, not even counting Tommy Reese. Outside of that, there's so much experience in that boardroom, coaching staff. Your president of football operations was one of the greatest quarterbacks to still play the game for the Falcons. I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Ryan's not out there in shorts and a t-shirt. When they not on the practice field when you can see him at Flowery Branch, back there in the back where they close them doors and you can't see it. I wouldn't be surprised if Matt is not there teaching them every single thing that he learned. Eric Mack is in the chat. We didn't even spend $20 million in free agency and still got improvement. We didn't even spend, I don't even think we spent $15 million, $16 million. We did what we had to do. Dixon Wade said, I just saw the video from ESPN that Kevin Stefanski called. Okay, let's get to that. Falcon fans, I need your thoughts. I'm going through your comments here. And there's a lot of comments in the chat. There's a lot of comments in the chat. We're talking Falcons football here tonight. Man, what do we got? 42 minutes? Oh man, I ain't trying to hit no hour and a half on this, but it's gonna be big. Dixon Wade said, I just saw the video from ESPN. Kevin Stefanski called Michael Penix Jr. Falcon fans, if you haven't heard Cameron Wolfe speak on NFL Network not too long ago, Cameron Wolfe stated Kevin Stefanski called Michael Penix Jr. to let him know about the Tua Tagovailoa move. Dixon Wade says, okay, that's cool, but did he give MPJ a freaking playbook yet? MPJ said he hasn't even got a playbook yet on the John Gruden podcast. Sheesh. Also, what Cameron Wolfe has stated. That there could possibly be open competition for the quarterback spot. I didn't say it. Cameron Wolfe said it from what Kevin Stefanski has said. That there could be open competition here for the quarterback spot. I didn't say that. Bringing in Tua, yes, was an insurance policy because you didn't get him for 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars. But Tua has been a starter in Miami for a couple of years. I understand he had a bad run over there too as well. He's here in Atlanta now. When we were talking about bridge quarterbacks and bringing in guys who knows they're getting ready to hand over the keys to the car, to the Ferrari, to the Benz, back to Penix, we were talking about Kenny Pickett's, Jimmy G's, Zach Wilson's, guys that we knew were automatically going to hand the keys back over because those are backups. Those are bridge quarterbacks. Regardless on how you look at it, Kevin Stefanski sat in that office today with Matt Ryan and the rest of those guys in that boardroom. And he said, Tua Tagovailoa, because they didn't go off of 1 year. They don't do this 1 year stuff. Oh, let's go back to 2023. He's been in the league for a couple years. 44-32 career record. 68% completion percentage. 120 passing touchdowns. 59 interceptions. 7.5 yards per average. 96.4 rating. When your coach says that there's an open competition for the quarterback spot, it is something to watch for. That's why I can't say who's going to be the quarterback right now. I don't know who the quarterback is right now. Because then again, I don't know how training camp's going to go. I was listening to Uncle Steve earlier. Big shout out to Uncle Steve's Lounge. Uncle Steve stated, and he's a podcaster. He's a diehard Atlanta Falcon fan, right? So don't go on Uncle Steve's podcast yelling at Uncle Steve. He's giving you his thoughts and what he believes could happen too as well. He does it very well. If you get out to late June, July, and Penix is not out there, if he's on the third field riding the bike, if he's not where the starting ones are, and you're going through this offense, you're going through this system, you get down to August and preseason, I just don't know if he's going to be the starter. That's what I'm thinking about. Now, if you get out there in late April, May, early June, and that guy's out there throwing the football around, he's taking snaps under center, he's moving around, he's handing the ball off, he's doing all this, oh, that's the quarterback. But Kevin Stefanski called Penix today to tell him this. I'm just saying, that's what the head coach did. But the head coach had to sit in that room and say, we don't want Joe Flacco. We don't want Jake Browning. We don't want Kyler Murray. We don't want Stetson Bennett. We want Tua. And of course, they're going to have to live and die by that because it's a one-year deal. They didn't sign him to no $55 million, 20-some million, 3-year deal, none of this stuff. It's too early in the year for us to just deep dive into what is going to happen when we don't know what's going to happen. But as Dixon Way just pointed out, as Cameron Wolf has said, there is now possibly going to be an open competition at quarterback due to the comments made from Kevin Stefanski that Cameron Wolf has heard about. Eric Mack is in the chat. Ellis had a good season, but he's not a good coverage linebacker. He's one of the top underrated players in the game. I'm sure he's going to probably find a home in a matter of day or two. But if he's still available by the end of the week, I'm not throwing my cards in the basket that he's not going to be a Falcon. They might bring him back. They might bring this guy back. It's possible. Falcons extend Natron Brooks right after the move that, of course, we heard D. Alford is heading to Buffalo. They extend Natron Brooks too as well. Kobe Bryant is a name to watch for too as well. Billy Bowman is coming back. Don't forget Clark Phillips is still here too. Right? Clark Phillips is still here. Tech was in the chat. He said Dotson has huge potential, but OZ is what he is. Solid depth and a decent stopgap. For a wide receiver too, for OZ stature, and he is not a rookie. Right? This ain't homecoming week for OZ. He's been in the league for a while now. He played on a successful Bears team. He played on a really good Falcons team years ago. This could be a situation where OZ and Dotson battle for, oh man, the camp competition battles are going to be crazy this summer. It's going to be crazy. OZ and Dotson, and we haven't even found out who the other receiver they're going to sign. Are they going to elevate Chris Blair? I think they should. Chris Blair is a dog, man. Chris Blair is a beast. And they just keep, well, that was the past regime. They kept putting him on this decoy shit. They kept putting him on this, you on the sideline in shorts and a t-shirt, we'll call you when we need you. But you saw how bad the old regime was. They couldn't even park and find their car correctly in the parking lot. Andrew's in the chat. He said, would you trade Bucky with the new news for the 1 point? Bucky Irvin? Or Bucky from Marvel? Which one? From the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Bucky from Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's a bad mother. That's a super bad. That's a bad little superhero right there. Nah. Bucky from the Bucks. I think you can get a guy. I think you can get a guy that's available. If not in free agency, you can get a guy in the draft. But then again, you know, running back is a situation I'm looking for them to tackle later on this week. Because Tyler's out the door too as well. Wide receiver, we need to go get another one. right? Defensive line, offensive line. We need to look into that too as well. 5 picks in the draft, probably going to end up about 7 or 8, maybe 2 or 3 more, which is pretty good. Knowing this Falcons organization, a lot of their draft picks have played on the field from various weeks. I can see even your first, second, third, fourth, fifth round players on the field week 1, week 2. Got to build it back. Teco said Matthews is solid, dependable as fuck. Hey, Matthews is solid, man. I rock with that. I mean, I rock with Jake Matthews. Eric Z said, "What's good?" Shout out to Eric Z, man. Shout out to Eric Z. Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button, man. If you're checking in from Facebook, hit that like. The page is one time for the fan. If you're checking in from Facebook groups, hit that like somewhere on the page, comment. You know, a lot of people watch the podcast without commenting. You know, they don't know too many people in the chat. They don't want to say nothing wrong to get fans, you know, upset or anything. This is an open platform. You can come in here and talk Falcons football with a lot of us, a lot of content creators in here, a lot of people who represent the Falcons fan base strong, a lot of season ticket holders, PSL holders, a lot of fans who's been here since the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, a lot of fans who just signed up yesterday, right? So, you know, we probably got some fans who came over from Philadelphia with Dotson, right? Probably got some Austin Hooper fans back in the building too as well. That's what happens when you sign these players. You know, they bring their fan base with them too as well. So if you're checking in from any one of these channels, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, hit the like, hit the repost, hit the share, run the comments up, boost the algorithm, tag us, share us amongst other Falcon groups, Discords, whatever you're in. Tell everybody we're live. We are live talking Falcons football. Once again, big shout out to T Will, former ATL Sports one time. Big shout out to Miss Carrie, right? Big shout out to everybody. Big shout out to Bodie 3000. Pam Johnson said, "We always at training camp in the shade." Yeah. Oh, Pam, look, Auntie Pam, I'm about to be with you this year. Look, I done did it a few years in that sun on that front row. That rag ain't helping. That rag ain't helping. I done pour water on the rag. I done went like I'm getting ready to take a shower out there. That rag ain't helping. It's blazing hot in Flowery Branch. Blazing hot. And if you're not sitting up there in that hill with where Pam and Dixon where them at, in that shade where them trees at, by that fence, if you down there in that front row where we at, on that rope, better bring a cold jug of water, boy. I'm telling you. Ike Solid said, "I'm rocking with MP9." As you should, as the fan base should. He is your quarterback until that time comes, as you should. Because the one thing about fans of any organization, when you're winning, everybody feel good. When you're losing, everybody starts pointing fingers. Everybody got somebody to blame when you're not winning. But let's just say we would have won the division last year with Penix or with Kirk Cousins. Everybody happy. Yeah. Remember when we were 6-3? We was in this swag serving with Kirk ass too, wasn't we? Wasn't it? I'm on here nodding. Here's nodding. And polo on my body. You saw that shit? You saw it? We got a Carolina Panther fan in here. And this is a solid Carolina Panther fan. He don't come in here with the disses. He don't come in here talking trash. He comes in here and he talks Falcons. He comes in here, he talks NFC. He talks Panthers. He talks football. Shout out Edgewise in the chat. So what's going on, brother? Good free agency day one. For us, good free agency. I don't even know what the Panthers did. I wasn't even paying attention. I know the Saints signed a guy or two. Of course, the Bucks lost Mike Evans. Edgewise, what did the Panthers do? Was it enough to compete against the Falcons? Big brother getting ready to smack you in the mouth. Big brother is back. Nice play. Nathan Floyd, not just Ryan. OZ played in Chicago with Ian there, and Hooper played under Stefanski in Cleveland. That is right. Buddy. Do I got the buddy? I ain't got the buddy. Damn. I thought I had the buddy sound bite. I need to go ahead and add the buddy. Oh, here we go. Devin Lloyd is signing with the Panthers. 3 years, 45. Devin Lloyd with the Panthers? Damn, let me go ahead and take him off my list. Devin Lloyd with the Panthers? I had it over here for the who is still available. Let me go back and check. Here it is. Trey Hendrickson, Devin Lloyd, Tyreek Woolen, offensive tackle Rasheed Walker, tight end Chigo Kongwo from I think he's with the Bears. Romeo Dobbs from the Packers, Kevin Bird, safety, Nashawn Wright, Le'Veon Chason, defensive end, Vera Tucker, the guard, Chris Paul, the guard, not the basketball player. Quarterback Kyler Murray, offensive tackle Taylor Decker, Braden Smith, offensive tackle, wide receiver Calvin Austin III. We talked about Calvin Austin III last night. He could possibly be a guy that we can look at. Special teams guy too as well. Wide receiver depth too as well. Cheap deal too as well. Can come in here and help on our special teams kick return and punt return department. Debo Samuels, we're definitely out on him. Jawan Jennings, wide receiver. Wyatt Teller, guard. Jaquan Brisker, safety. Caden Ellis, still on the board. Caden Ellis. Falcon fans were a little worried. We got to resign Caden. He's going to be gone. We got to get Caden back. Day one, Falcon fans, Caden's not signed nowhere. Falcons didn't want to go after the offer to match that offer. They didn't want to touch Tyler Algier. They let go of David O. That one flashy, splashy move that I think Falcon fans would love, which is not the biggest signing in the world, it would be to bring back Caden Ellis. Fans in this chat will go, wow, Caden Ellis is back in the building. We need that. Leo Chenot, linebacker, tight end Dallas Goedert, Rashad White, running back. These are some of the players that's still available in the market. Devin Lloyd is off the board now. See Devin Lloyd to the Panthers. See a lot of people, you guys are posting that right here. Okay, Devin Lloyd, okay. All right. Tech was in the chat. Said, I like Pitts. He is so physically talented, but I've seen him whiff on so many reads with multiple quarterbacks and offenses. I hope he can thrive in this system. I hope so too. Goddamn Tito's. Shit. I hope so too. He was a couple yards away from 1,000 last year. Matt Ryan had him his first year with 1,000. Played through the MCL injury, I think year 2 or year 3 it was. Played with quarterbacks that didn't even know he was on the field. It's very much so. Is that thunder? It's supposed to rain, Falcon fans. We are in Atlanta. Is it raining over there? Damn, I gotta take this dog out. Dang. I ain't trying to have no thunderstorm, man. Damn, I'm trying to play some golf tomorrow. Kyle Pitts, man. What I saw, let me tell you something. What I saw Kyle Pitts do in that Bucs game, that wasn't random from Kyle Pitts. If you get Kyle Pitts the ball, Kyle Pitts can do that. Falcon fans, I'm telling you, if you get Kyle Pitts the ball, you can do that. You see in multiple games, even when you mention these whiffs on so many reads and the different offenses and so on, Kyle Pitts in that Bucs game in the right system on the right day on the right time can get it done. I've seen he ain't no Levine Toilolo, and y'all know Toilolo, former Falcons tight end from way back. That ain't him. Kyle Pitts still has that it factor that just needs to be brought to light. It just needs to be brought to light. So I can agree and disagree on Teko's comment right here. But at the end of the day, it's up to the Falcons to make the right decision. And as a fan, as a podcaster, as a content creator, I'm here to react to it. The tagging, I figured the tagging was going to come up. But now it's time to see what Kyle Pitts is going to be made of. Coolest Dre's in the chat. What's up, man? Coolest Dre. He said, what up, Falcon family? Big shout out to Coolest Dre in the chat, man. 82 Money Carlos said, you got to bring a tent. You're going out there to training camp. Well, gotta bring something. John Moreno said, happy belated birthday to Auntie Pam. Shout out to Auntie Pam in the chat. Ladybirds. AFN in the chat. Let's go give a round of applause. Give a round of applause to Auntie Pam. Talks Falcons football so well amongst the Falcon fans. Big shout out to Auntie Pam. Yuri's in the chat. We got a celebrity in the chat, man. If you guys don't know Yuri, you better ask somebody. Hawks games, United games, Braves games, Mr. Mr. Uber XL, Black Truck, Shawty, that boy Yuri. Yuri's the coolest, man. Away games. Yuri, you going to Spain this year? You going to Spain when the Falcons play in Spain this year? I know Yuri's probably looking like, damn right, Jack, I'm going to Spain. Damn right. Yuri's a cool ass Falcon fan, dog. He's just cool as hell, bro. XY said they got Devin Lloyd and they got Jalen Phillips from the Eagles. Oh, trying to build back that defense. Trying to stop Bijan, huh? Take another sip of this tea, though. Oh, that's where Kenny Pickett went. Went to the Panthers. Nathan Floyd said severe storms incoming. Damn it. Let me check the weather for golf tomorrow. Boy, not my day. I really want to play golf tomorrow. 95% rain. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, it ain't going to rain after like 1 p.m. Should be good. The grounds will be a little wet, but should be good. Your boy Deezy, shout out your boy Deezy, man. You want to talk Falcons football, man? Just meet him in a Kroger off Covington Highway. He'll be there talking Falcons football with you. Yep, Jack, that's Thunder, my guy. I said the same thing. I think you on the east side with me. Your boy Deezy. Casty said, yeah, it's raining and thundering. Damn. I don't see the rain yet. Then again, Bigelow Country put one hell of a detail on that car out there. Waterproof. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Yeah, he said, I forgot I live near that area, man. Yeah, that's right, man. We in the area. We ready for Spain. Yuri said we ready for Spain. Yuri. My bag. Yuri, I got my bag packed, man. I got my bags packed, but I'm ready for Spain, big dog. Yuri. Hey, look, low key, Yuri. Some people asking me to throw something in Spain. Remember what we did in England? Some people low key asking me to throw something in Spain. I really don't want to get involved with it. I told myself I wouldn't do it anymore. But Spain is a whole nother breed, dog. You know what I'm saying? Thinking about it. Thinking about it, man. Got a top-notch DJ, solidified. Got a certified DJ. He said he bringing everything to him to Spain. He said we rocking out the whole week out there. It's all right. I might link up with him if he gets the location, because he's certified. If he gets the location in Madrid, I might have to go ahead and put my 2 cents into the pot with that one, because I know what he can do. I know what his name will bring. He was with me the other day at Refurb after the United game. He was over there chopping it up. I was like, man, I'll think about it. He's like, man, remember I know what you be doing, Jack. Like, man, I'll think about it, bro. I'll think about it. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't really, put pen to the paper yet and see what I can dig up and see what I can get going. But I want to see when that game is. If it's the end of October near my birthday, it might have to be the move. If it's first week in November, we'll see. I got to play golf when I'm in Spain, too. I got to play golf when I'm in Spain. I have to. Matthew Bass in the chat. Big shout out to Matthew Bass. He said, what up, Jack Spade? What up, Matthew? I came over there looking for you yesterday for Saturday for United game. I ain't see you, brother. Probably on that cruise again. I know you're on that cruise. I know you texting and typing us right now on that boat. In that suite, that private suite. Fandemic in the chat, man. Falcons fan, content creator, podcaster. Shout out to Fandemic. So what's good, Jack? Just got to keep reminding myself it's just for one season. Oh, shit. Just for one, dog. One for one. That's all we got to do, Fandemic. Just keep reminding yourself. I was talking to Uncle Steve earlier, right? Fans agree or disagree. I just don't want this season to be based off of an if scenario. If he was developed better, if we would have made the right move, if this would have happened. I just want seasons where I know we can just make the right adjustment, and move forward in the right direction. 8 losing seasons, man. This shit is tough, man. This shit hurt. Buying merch, traveling the world. I love the podcast. Talking about new players, players in the door, players out the door. What can this guy do? What can that guy do? I want to win, man. Right? I want to win. I be joking about the 2027 season. Y'all know I be joking about it sometimes. But I just want to win, dog. Every Falcon fan in the chat wants to win, bro. But 8 long seasons, bro. 8 long seasons down the drain. Bro, I can't come back in this joker in February talking about, yeah, well, we got the 12th pick, man. Yeah, we looking at this guy, the quarterback, man. I ain't trying to do that. Not trying to do that, man. But then again, I do got to go to work, here and there. Got to take care of the fam here and there. Got to do what I got to do. So I have other things to take me away from football. But when we talk football, when we talk Falcons, when we talk strategies, when we talk about games, winning and losing, the dynamics of the game, the ins and outs, the X's and O's, this shit hurts, man. That's why I'm glad I got the podcast. I got y'all. I got the support. Got positive Falcon fans. I'm a positive Falcon fan. My season ticket's paid up. I'm ready. I'm traveling this year. I'm back on the road. Last year I did 1 game. I went to New Orleans last year. Y'all know I don't do 1 game on the road. We had every single game. I'm at 20 stadiums right now. This year I can be at 23 with the Packers. 2 more. I forget the other 2. I'm trying to hit all 32 stadiums. Spain is in addition. I appreciate it, NFL. I'll be there. Trying to get this in, man. I love these Falcons. King supporter, man. King Atlanta said the Falcons will be Super Bowl champions. Man, every time King comes in here. King comes in here. That's what we're looking for. That is what we're looking for. HY said we're going to make more moves next 2 days. Just watch. Hey, just watch us, Edgewise. Just watch us. He said he's cruising right now. We got 1 fan who's in New Zealand, another fan on the West Coast, another fan in Texas, another fan in Florida. We got 1 fan traveling the world. He's in the middle of the Pacific Ocean somewhere right now. Hell, who knows? He's probably in the Mediterranean right now. Matthew Bass don't do that South Carolina port to port stuff. He don't do that South Carolina to Louisiana port shit. No, that boy cruising the world right now, living the life. Big shout out to Matthew Bass. If you're gonna be there Saturday, Matthew, I'll be back there Saturday for Atlanta United, man. I gotta see them get a win. Got to see them get a win. Don't like the fact that the Saints signed running back Travis Etienne today. Now Kamara's probably up in the smoke right now. There was a report that they don't know about Kamara and his future with the team. So we'll see. Georgia Clay's in the chat. How much cap relief would we get for releasing Cousins? If I'm not mistaken, let me see. I had let me go check. I had that somewhere in my notes. I don't know if I go back and find it. Releasing Kirk Cousins with a post June 1 designation in 2026 provides the Falcons with a $2.1 million in 2026 cap savings, or potentially up to $11.9 million, depending on final restructuring details and offset, while leaving behind a $22.5 million dead cap hit for 2026. The move, intended to occur around March 11th, also leaves $12.5 million dead cap change or charge for 2027. Kirk Cousins is gone. Less than 48 hours, he's out the door. And the Falcons will live on from that. We will move on. We'll be in a whole new light. But yeah, the Atlanta Falcons, man, not too much of the big news today. That Tua Tagovailoa news is pretty big. That's pretty big right there. Knowing that you have a guy in the building if something happens to Penix in that situation, and we would have had a Jake Browning, ain't nobody out there calling for no Jake Browning. Ain't nobody out there calling for no Kenny Pickett, no Jimmy G. That's why I even saw Edgewise said, we got Kenny Pickett today. Ain't too happy about that. Ain't nobody, Kenny Pickett is come on, bro. I wasn't gonna be happy. I wasn't gonna be happy if it was a Flacco signing either. Man's like 45 years old. And he's down. He's down for the sack. They got the best what they can get with this one for what they can pay. I was shocked to see that it was going to be Tua Tagovailoa. Very shocked. Then again, the quarterback market is not that good. Austin Hooper, Jahan Dotson, Cameron Thomas, edge rusher, Cameron Thomas. With the news of JPJ, not going to get all into it. Fans, you don't have to put a bunch of comments in the chat. If you don't want to talk about it, we ain't got to talk about it. We ain't finna spend no 2 hours on it. The updated report from JPJ on the situation with Rakia it's wild. I'm confused as a grown man. I've been in relationships, been through, situations where when it's time to move on, it's time to move on. You just go about your day, just move on. But seeing some of these reports, seeing some of these things that I've read, it's sad. It's truly sad. The next question that comes to mind is, are the Falcons going to keep him? A lot of fans saying, cut him, cut him, cut him, cut him. You know what's the crazy part about this? As soon as we cut him, there's a team that's going to pick him up and say, oh, yeah, well, yeah, I understand what he did off the field, but let me tell you about what he did on the field. There is a team that's going to sign JPJ, and they can deal with the headache. But then the funny thing about it is, if a team deals with the headache and is able to reel him back in and get him refocused, we're going to be kicking ourselves in the butt. Then again, the off-the-field issues isn't nothing to play with. It's disappointing. It's truly sad, and it's disappointing. A lot of these players, a lot of these coaches, a lot of these executives on the organization, they have wives, they have families. They wouldn't go through nothing to the extent or the level of what JPJ went through when dealing with the young lady. Very disappointing. But as soon as you release him, a team is going to pick him up. Our headache now is going to become somebody else's headache, and they're going to see what we did with him to reel him back in and get him refocused. And they're going to try to one-up that by getting him back in and getting him refocused. So do the Falcons release him? I don't know. I was hot when I first heard the report. I was playing 2K, looked at my phone. James Pierce Jr. arrested on what? James Pierce, what type of? I'll tell my homeboys in the chat. Hey, y'all hear this James Pierce Jr. stuff? Nah, man, that some bogus account, some fake account. They lying. Went straight to Twitter. That's when it first happened. Went straight to Twitter. Refreshed my phone. I didn't have to type his name in. Just hit refresh. James Pierce, James Pierce, James Pierce, James Pierce, James Pierce, James Pierce. I said, oh my God. Had to put the 2K down. I said, bro, y'all see this? T. Will calling, Carrie calling, everybody in the chat. We talking. T. Will go live. We live that night for 4 hours till 3-some in the morning. You were there too, Manuel. Atlanta Falcons Fandemic. You were there, Cowboy. Country were there. Chat was there. Had over 400 people in there talking till 3, 4 in the morning. Bird Gang was in there. Oh, Birdcage was in there. Ryan was in there. We couldn't believe it. Could not believe this shit. And now you're hearing more and more reports about things happening from November. My thing is this. Did Raheem and Terry know about this shit in November and try to sweep it under the rug? Because there's reports that says something happened from November 2025. If I remember correctly, 2025, what the fuck? What were we doing back then? We had Raheem and Terry. Did they know about this? They had to know about this. At my job, one of my drivers got a ticket. And he couldn't hide that from the boss. Couldn't hide it. Had to go to court. Had to pay the fines and fees. He's no longer there with the company. And this shit right here with James Pierce, Raheem and Terry didn't know about it? Something fishy. Something fishy. I'm disappointed. I don't want to get too much into it. There's some people that have went over past traumatic situations dealing with stuff like this. Don't want to deep dive into some of y'all's backgrounds or people coming here telling these stories about what they went through growing up. I just know that I'm disappointed. And I hope the Falcons get it fixed. I hope that young man gets the positivity that he needs in his life to move forward. Because right now, these past 6 months for this lad, it ain't good off the field. I know what he's done on the field. We know him as a player. The young man off the field, what he's dealing with, that ain't good. And my thoughts and prayers go out to Rickey Jackson. We definitely got us a super chat. We got us a super chat tonight. Chat tonight. Uncle Steve's Lounge, man. Big shout out to Uncle Steve's Lounge, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all head over to Uncle Steve's Lounge channel. He had a great podcast tonight. I'm sure it's up on his channel. Go back and watch it. Go back and check the comments. See what he's talking about. You're going to find something that you like. I guarantee it. He's been on this channel here before too as well. I've been on a panel or two with Uncle Steve a long time ago. He talks Falcons football amongst the best of some of the Falcons content creators, amongst some of the diehard Atlanta Falcon fans. He keeps it real when talking about this team. He's been a Falcon fan for a while, so he ain't over here talking that 2024 and 2023 Falcon stuff. He can take you back. He can let you know about when the times were real bad and when the times got even better. Uncle Steve's in the chat, man, said, any chance we may still be holding out for a big name like Hendrickson? You know, Uncle Steve, this is funny. And I'm glad you're in here. Caden Ellis. He ain't getting no phone call today. Is it possible the big name for the Falcons is Caden Ellis? That's who I'm thinking about. Now, then again, like we said, Sunday night show versus today's show, what could happen in 24 hours can change everything. Sure enough, 24 hours later, Tua is in the building. Austin Hooper's in the building. 2 wide receivers are in the building. Another edge rusher is in the building. Another linebacker's in the building. We haven't heard much on Arnold Ebiketie. Haven't heard much about D'Angelo Malone. Haven't heard much about Leonard Floyd, Josh Woods, J.D. Bertram, Laquel London, Katavius Creek, some other guys that were here with the Falcons last year. What did they do in that evaluating process with those guys and how they move forward? Also, another name we haven't heard, Braylon Trice. Some Falcon fans said, what? Did he just say Braylon Trice? Oh, snap, we still got Braylon Trice. You can't forget about Braylon Trice because, Troy Anderson is probably going to be on the field this year. That was a name that we forgot about too. Hendrickson. Now, I may be wrong here, Uncle Steve. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hendrickson's around 25 mil or more. From the spot track that I was looking at, he's up there. Now, Hendrickson, that's a splashy move. That's a flying, flashy move right there. Once Hendrickson's in the building, you know it's going to be some trouble for some teams offensively on that side of the ball. When they look over there on the other side and they say, oh, crap, they got doggone Hendrickson. Somebody guard him, chip him, double team him. That's something to watch for. That is something to watch for. The players that are available right now that they're showing still left on the board, I think it was Gridiron that put it out there. Go back and check this one more time. Yeah, Gridiron, BR Gridiron. Top of the list from Ari, what's that? Mirov. The one to butcher his name too as well. He does a lot of NFL Insider. Devin Lloyd, as you guys were sitting here talking with me earlier, he gets signed with the Panthers. That was a big name that's still on the board. Trey Hendrickson still on the board. There was a report, don't know if it was a rumor, don't know if it's a false report, that he's supposed to be going to the Cowboys. And then the Cowboys ended up signing old boy from the Packers. So do they end up going after Trey Hendrickson too as well? For me, if you land a Trey Hendrickson, go ahead and get them Trey Hendrickson jerseys out. Y'all know what Trey Hendrickson can do. He's going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem. But Caden Ellis could be a big name for the Falcon fans to re-sign and keep him here in the building, if it's possible. We'll see. With the new reports coming out today, I feel like he's done. Maybe just putting him on the commissioner exempt list for now, if possible. Nathan Floyd is in the chat. Atlanta Falcons Fandemic said reports also said that Pierce's father actually called Rakia to warn her that JPJ was on the way to her house. Oh, my God. Come on, man. Come on, man. Where my soundboard at?
Bruh.
Reports also said that Pierce's father actually called Rakia to warn her that JPJ was on the way to her house. Isn't this the same dude that had his family up there at the NFL honors saying that he looks after his friends, he looks after his family, he loves the people around him, and in less than 48 hours, he's lining up to run over a police officer in Doral County? Jesus Christ. Somebody help me, man. Bradley and Nick Chubb. We could see. We could see. Can't wait to see what tomorrow brings. Troy Anderson was restructured. Man, what is this with this guy? Hey, if you get 2024 October 2nd, Troy Anderson, 16 tackles, 1 interception. 16 tackles, 1 interception. If you get that, Troy Anderson, that's 2024 Troy, though. Now, ain't past the Troy. Troy Anderson. Georgia Clay said we could be lining up for Dexter Lawrence. Splashy move. Bring us him. We need that. I wouldn't mind bringing in a Seattle Seahawks defensive player right now. I wouldn't mind. That would be a good move. Falcon fans, man, hit that like, hit that share, hit the subscribe button. Look, man, we got another content creator in the chat too as well. We got Winston Thornton, man, checking in. Big shout out to Winston Thornton here talking Falcons football with us. Make sure y'all head over to his channel. Uncle Steve was here tonight too as well. So many content creators who come in here and talk Falcons football. HY said Trey Hendrickson's market value is 2 years. 50 what?
Bruh.
Some say the cap is a myth. Some say, how the hell did Saints sign old boy today? They ain't got no money. If the Falcons can work something and bring in a Trey Hendrickson, sign me up. I'll even go out there and play. They ain't got to give me nothing. I'll go out there and play for tickets, season tickets. I'll get somebody else. I'll give my season tickets away and take their season tickets. Probably better seats. No, Winston Thornton said that's on a previous incident, roughly a month before the big headline breaking one. JPJ went there because he owed her over $70,000 and he was mad about it. So his dad called and warned her. JPJ went there because he owed her over $70,000. And he was mad about it. So his dad called and warned her. He owed her over $70,000. God damn, boy, what you, Calvin Ridley? Some teams are willing to pay the luxury tax. That JPJ situation is tough, man. That's why I don't want to spend too much time on it tonight. We had a great time talking about the offseason news and updates with these free agents. Of course, free agent will resume tomorrow. Free agency with the Falcons probably making a one or two more splash moves. No, not splash moves. Splish moves, not splash. Got to get something. We got to get something. Winston Thornton said he banged on the door. She called the police and said she feared for her life, and he dipped before the police got there. There's been numerous times where the police went there and forced him to leave.
Bruh.
Jesus Christ. That's the shit you don't see on Madden. I just need this to be wrapped up quickly. For the football side of it and the personal life side of it. Because if he has to move on and do something with his life, change what's happening in his life that, is definitely from the negative to the positive, then, let those times be. Let it be coming up soon. But please, Falcons, don't let this run out till July, August, September. Thoughts and prayers go out to Rickea Jackson. It does seem like there's a bit of a toxic relationship going on, as fans have stated they have seen them together. But I am no master in the marriage counsel or the relationship counseling world. Social media and Instagram and all this other type of stuff, and tagging this person and hanging out with this person and being seen over here. And next day you calling the police. Next day you're hanging out with them. I'm no master in that field. But I know there's something going on that is just unacceptable. And I'm very disappointed. Steelers are signing running back Rico Dowdle to a 2-year deal. Edgewise, Panther fan, know you in the chat, Edgewise. Rico Dowdle's gone. No more Rico. He's up out of there. Gotta go find you a running back now. Gotta go find you somebody to back up Chuba. Falcons Fandemic, man. We never pay those luxury taxes to gain a player. Jerry Jones pays it every season. If you want a guy like Trey Hendrickson, go get a guy like Trey Hendrickson. Go get him. Talking to the Falcons organization, go get him. Falcons fans ain't going to complain. If he comes over here and he's not productive, oh, yeah. Oh, then we're going to have to talk. But we've seen what Trey Hendrickson can do. If you can end up with a guy like Trey, even if you bring back Caden Ellis, you'll give a big relief to fans right now that, okay, we're setting up to go wide receiver in the draft. Let's just say their next two moves is Caden Ellis or Trey Hendrickson and an offensive lineman, maybe a center. What that means when it goes to the draft, they're going to go defensive tackle. Depends on James Pierce Jr., they're going to go edge, another linebacker, another corner, another wide receiver, or two. Winston Thornton said, That live he had on IG where he was trying to get a kiss from her was disturbing, to say the least. She said that she was willing to testify because of all the past situations. She is legit scared of him. This girl plays in the WNBA. She makes good money. Very good athlete, too, as well. Don't know her, but probably a very nice person. James Pierce Jr., you're making 10-something million dollars as a rookie. You had a solid college career with Tennessee. You had a historic first year with the Atlanta Falcons, gracing almost 11 sacks with the team individually. How could you throw this away so early in your career if this comes to that? I just hope the Falcons get it resolved. I know it's been real quiet otherwise in these reports coming out, which is why some fans are like, why don't we release him yet? Why don't we let him go? I'm trying to tell y'all why. As soon as we let him go, another team's going to pick him up. And they'll give you excuse after excuse after excuse. Oh, don't worry. We got him. We'll take care of him. We're going to give him the right help that he needs. We'll got him. Don't worry. We got him. And they're going to put him back. They're going to put him right down that field and go get them 10 sacks. Fan told me earlier, they was like, next year, they're going to forget all about this. He's going to be out there getting 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sacks. They're going to forget all about it. With another team. That organization, that owner, that GM, they're going to say, oh, yeah, we remember what happened. He just got his 12 sacks, though. That's not me saying it. I'm just tell you another organization's going to do it. His career could be in some serious trouble. But if he has another chance to play football and it's not here with Atlanta, another team will pick him up. Stephon Diggs is literally roaming the streets right now looking for another team right now. And we've seen what Stephon Diggs has went through. This kid has some issues he has to work out. We know. But it's just very disappointing. I'm disappointed. Fan base is disappointed. I'm sure Arthur Blank, Matt Ryan, and the rest of the group is disappointed. But hey, let's end this thing on a high note tonight, man. Hour and a half. Georgia Clay's in the chat said Tyler Algier went to Arizona for $6 million. I really miss my running back. Hey, man. That 1-2 combination, man. That 1-2 punch. It meant something. I talked about it here on the podcast. T will agree with me. I think Kerry was in on it too as well. It's so difficult when you have those 1-2 punch combos, when you have those running backs that, that two-headed monster. It's so difficult to keep those guys. This guy wants the certain amount of snaps. He doesn't want to be limited per snap. He doesn't want to just be used during the red zone. He's not 35 or 37 years old. The kid is young. He had 1,000 yards when he got drafted here. He's going to go to Arizona and get a bulk load of carries for that $12 million. It is what it is, man. Uncle Lou's been in the chat. Tyler's family. Big shout out to Uncle Lou. Big shout out to Tyler. Fandemic said, I'm actually fine with moving on from him with both Cameron Thomas and Christian Harris. We'll get some serious stops. Could it be that they brought in Cameron Thomas and Christian Harris due to the JPJ situation? Are they preparing for a first to second tier level suspension for JPJ? Because if they do end up keeping him, the NFL is going to crack down and say, oh, no. That's 6 to 10 games. That's 12 games easy. It's possible. Does that allow the Falcons now to go into the draft and say, hey, we might have to package a second to move back, get an extra third, take those 2 thirds, trade up, see if we can get back in the late first round, see if somebody wants to take our second and move up to the late second. It's possible. Ian Cunningham is probably going to be a mastermind with this type of stuff. To see what he said about having 5 picks and turning that into multiple picks with the Bears, and now we have 5 picks right here, man, he getting ready to do something. And it ain't going to cost you much to sign these guys. Your second, your third, your fourth, your fifth round. You get the right players, you scout in the right department of what you need. You're going to have a fourth rounder playing a bunch of snaps week one. You're going to have a third rounder on the field on 3rd and 3. I've seen it before. We played our fourth and fifth rounders. We've played our sixth rounders here in Atlanta. We've played them. Ian Cunningham knows with this market, with this contract, with this money that's going on right now, we don't have it right now to be flashy. You draft the right guys, you play the right guys. Ian Cunningham should be able to get it done. Winston Thornton said there's 9 officers with body cams, including the one that was allegedly struck by the truck. The official police report is public access. I think he'll go to the commission list and be out for the season. That's tough. Wide receiver 2, we getting him in the draft for the free agency. I ain't gonna lie, Winston. It's gonna be a camp competition battle right now between Zacchaeus and Dotson. I've seen some reports that they say that has said that Dotson could possibly be the wide receiver 2. Olamide Zacchaeus has been a wide receiver 2 for years. Do the Falcons value him as a wide receiver 2? Both of those receivers could easily line up to be wide receiver 2 alongside Drake London. Then again, they can go out tomorrow and go sign Tyreek Hill, and it's like, whoa, shit, we got Tyreek Hill. It's a different story now. I don't think that's going to happen, but you can go out there and sign Romeo Doubs tomorrow. You sign Romeo Doubs, then what? Now who's your wide receiver 2? You can have 4 wide receivers in the building. But there's some moves that could be made. Definitely some moves that could be made. Fandemic said either planning on moving on from JPJ or we might just lose Caden Ellis. That's tough, man. If we can't bring Caden Ellis back and we lose JPJ for a season, man, that's so tough. That's so tough. Winston Thornton said Christian Harris is the sneaky pickup for this offseason like Diablo last year if he can return to form. Return to form and stay healthy. Got to stay healthy. Christian Harris can be what we need for Jeff Ulbrich in this defense. What are they going to do with Leonard Floyd? What are they going to do with Arnold Katie? D'Angelo Malone? Still a couple names here left to be spoke about. You can guarantee the NFL will suspend JPJ the maximum amount of games simply because he plays for the Atlanta Falcons. But they hate us, don't they? Hey, my co-host and good friend, Miss Carrie, is in the building. She said, hello, Jack, one time for the fan and everyone in the chat. Big shout out to Carrie Lynn. She says, OZ is not a wide receiver, too. Oh, Miss Carrie is here in the building talking Falcons football with us. So could it be Jahan Dotson as the wide receiver, too? And OZ is your 3. Is it possible we could see that? Is it possible they draft a wide receiver 2? Could they go out and sign Romeo Doubs tomorrow? Could they go out and sign another receiver tomorrow? That's going to shake some things up. To move forward, not knowing that the free agency is not closed yet, that's the difficult part. If the free agency is closed right now, then I'm trying to align my depth chart off of, what they did. But knowing that they have tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and all, they have so much time to get something done. You never know what can happen. I know Wendell Robinson left. He's with the Titans. I know Jalen Naylor went to the Raiders. Romeo Doubs is still out there. There's a couple people that they possibly could look at. I think Christian Kirk is still out there. A couple people they can look at. Dawson was drafted as a wide receiver 2 in Washington and went to slot in Philly. You see what talking on this podcast brings? Information and knowledge from other Falcon fans and content creators and people out here that can, let other fans know, let everybody know that, hey, look, we got something brewing here in Atlanta in that wide receiver room that we might have to pay attention to. We're bringing in these players, but who is the wide receiver 2? Who is the wide receiver 3? Who is going to be 4, 5, and 6? Right? Kerry said to Fandemic's comment, we might lose both JPJ and Caden Ellis this offseason. Not going to lie to you, unfortunately. Oh, man. Kerry tells the truth. She definitely tells the truth. And she's doing a great job with that oven cleaning business, too, as well. So if you have an oven in your house that needs to be cleaned, Make sure you reach out to Carrie too as well. Carrie, don't forget I got that roofer joke from you earlier. I remember when you said that on the other channel. I see Falcon fans are talking in the chat. They're having a good time here. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. You know we love you, Carrie. Falcon fans, man, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button, man. A lot of people in the chat tonight. Damn, look at all these people. That's what I'm talking about, man. Falcon fans talking Falcons football, man. This is what it's about. Possible look at AJ Brown and Brian Thomas Jr. Hey, I want to see. Any news on Chris Blair or Casey Washington? Otherwise, than that, they're still Falcons right now. Chris Blair, I'm team Chris Blair in this thing. He's working out in the offseason, doing what he did last year, just that the regime never brought him up and elevated him to a level that where he needed to be. But with this wide receiver group open, I talked to a member of his people the other day, his family. And I relayed the message to her and I said, this is a big opportunity for Chris. Wide receiver 4, 5, and 6 is open until we know what could happen here. And yes, a guy like Chris, that's a camp competition battle. Winston Thornton's in the chat. So y'all smash that like button for this great content. Hey, big shout out to Winston Thornton, man. Y'all do the same for Winston Thornton too as well, man. Make sure y'all go check out his channel, man. Make sure y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe button on his channel. He talks Falcons football, like I said, just like us and Uncle Steve and Big Low and everybody else, man. He keep it real with you and lets you know how it is through thick and thin with these Atlanta Falcons, man. So these content creators that's out here, represent the offseason in a positive way, you got to go check them out. There's guys like Winston Thornton out here doing the dirty work for the Atlanta Falcons whenever they can't go live and talk Falcons and, bring the coaches and everybody else on. So big shout out to them. I see Carrie's in the chat. She's having a good time. She's over here having a good laugh. So big shout out to Carrie. Malik Health. We got to find out what's the deal with old boy. Matter of fact, I'm ready to find out. Let me see. You go open the front door? That's hold on, let's see. The dude from the Green Bay Packers? Well, let's see. Let's see if the Falcons want to make any moves to go ahead and look at a guy like him. It's possible. I'm ready for tomorrow, man. We got through today and we felt good about it. And now we're moving forward to day 2 of free agency. So let's see what they do. Let's be prepared and let's see what they do. It feels good to be a Falcon fan right now, especially with everything going on. Are these the big, flashy moves that we're expecting? No, because we don't have the big bread for it. But if you scheme well, if you coach well, if you're strategically good with your playbook and your play calling, you can get the job done the right way. They came in here like it was a doggone, like it was at the amusement park.
We didn't know.
Nah, but it's just like if you scheme well, if you do what you need to do correctly, you can win these games. Vegas has us at 6.5. That's when you go out there and you win those games that they don't expect us winning. Give us 8 or 9. That's the division in the NFC South. That's the division. Our division is not one of the greatest in the NFLs. You can win it with 9 wins. You don't want to. You really want to be 11, 12, 13, especially for playoff seeding and so forth. But you saw the Rams and the Panthers last year. The Panthers, with their record, the way that they was able to play the Rams down to the 4th quarter, down to the last minute with their record. That could have been us, and we would have beat those Rams. And once you get into the playoffs, once you roll that red carpet out, you never know what can happen. Once you punch your ticket, you never know. Kerry said, sheesh, 8 or 9. We better have a winning record this season. We better. I think the Falcons do have a winning record this season. Not some glorious 17-0 season. I know Eric Parker has talked about that. I think you do enough to get by to win the division. I think you do. I think just off of the coaching standpoint of having a Kevin Stefanski with Callahan and some of these guys. I know it's first year for these guys in Atlanta, but you got the right pieces on that coaching staff to go out there and win 8 games. You got it. I'm telling y'all. 82 Monte Carlo said D. Offer made a name for himself and got him the bag. And I'm proud of D. I talked to him earlier. I'm proud of D. Offer. He's a great person, man. On and off the field. He's a good dude. He's had a great family. Shout out to Tia, too, as well. Shout out to his wife. He's a great person. Undrafted. Griffin, Georgia. 1 year deal, 1 year deal, 1 year deal. Getting the bag. He deserves it. If the Falcons had more money, maybe we could have matched those offers. We wasn't paying that. Oh, my God, edgewise. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Come on, edgewise. He said, no, you wouldn't beat the Rams. We had the Rams back in week 15, didn't we? Come on, edgewise. Come on, dog. Don't let that blue and black blood run through you now. don't let it run through you now. We was in here talking good football, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm just playing, man. Anything can happen, man. But the way that we beat the Rams that week, I felt like we can get them back. We would have been able to get them back again. That's just what I feel like. D2 walk-on. Shout out to D. What was that? Tusculum University? What university you went to? What school was it? I can't remember, man. Tuscaloosa University. Some small school, man. Undrafted, man. He deserved this. I hear that thunder. Just wait for the lightning. He deserved this. Looking at next season's schedule, the only teams that were really competitors were San Fran. Let's see, the Chicago Bears. Everybody else is beatable. Kansas City's on that schedule too. Gotta be careful. We beat the Rams 27-24, and we would have did it again too in the playoffs. Oh, hold on, Edgewise. Don't come in here with that. Edgewise, don't you? Hey, man. Hey, brother. We talking good football here. Don't you come in here with that now. Damn Panther fans, damn little brother. Hey, man, right? Yeah. Hey, look. They beat us 30-0 last year. You know what we got to do, right? You know what we need to do. All right. I didn't mean to wake you up. My bad. Yeah. Let's get out there and do it. All right, Matt. All right. You the best, Matt. Matt the GOAT. Matt Ryan. If you got to put on that jersey, you can be QB3. Hey, look. It's going down in a major way. Edgewise, I hope you're ready for this year. Tusculum University? Yeah, Tusculum. Winston Thornton, I definitely would have brought back D back before I resigned Natron Brooks, especially with Bowman dealing with an Achilles injury. I'm gonna reach out to Bowman's family, see how you doing. I don't want to text right now because it's kind of late. I'm gonna reach out and see how he's doing. He's cool as hell too, man. Billy Bowman Sr. is cool as hell too as well. Big shout out to Billy Bowman Sr. Yeah, look at KC record. They were mid-tier or less. They got Andy Reid, man. They got Pat Mahomes, man. They got Kelsey, man. They got a team that can put up some points. Who's saying that their run is over? Some people can say that. Mahomes didn't look like the same Mahomes in previous years. He said I started it, bro. Hey, man, and the Falcons gonna finish it. Hey, edgewise, I started it, and the Falcons gonna finish it, brother. Just wait and see. We got y'all this year. Y'all got us last year. That's okay. Y'all got us last year. That's cool. We're gonna get y'all this year. Watch this. Reports are saying that Tua's jersey is gonna be a top seller. Hey, 1-1, pandemic. Remember we said 1-1. Get in and get them out. 1-1. But if he's gonna be a top seller, you look up in them stands and see that number 1 jersey. You look around and you see that number 9 jersey. It's gonna be a camp competition battle. Don't forget, that's Nick Saban's guy. For you Bama fans, that's Nick Saban's guy. There might be some Bama fans showing up to the Benz this year like, hey, put that Tua guy in. Remember when Tua won that championship here, the National? He knows that stadium pretty well. Remember what Matt Ryan said about Tua? That bad weather environment? I had a Jets fan say to me earlier today, y'all got Tua in the dome. He might go crazy. Y'all got Tua in the dome, in the bins. Heard Matt Ryan said, open the roof. Make it uncomfortable for him. They closed that roof. Tua went 20 for 26, 4 touchdowns. Hey, Edgewise, Hey, Edgewise, what you doing, man? What you doing, man? First we talking about free agents, then we talking about off-season moves. Now you over here posting scores. Now you over here talking about sweeping and stuff. Edgewise, what you doing, man? Kerry Sell going back and forth with a Panther fan. Oh my gosh. Let me end this. The good thing about it is, we're all here having a good time talking football. It's all football talk. Everybody's enjoying themselves. It's a Monday night here, first day of free agency wrapping up. I'm pretty sure a lot of these teams, unless they're on the West Coast, are probably heading home to be with their families. Nobody should be in the office over here on this side of town. And if the Falcons want to work overtime and be in there till late, go right ahead. Just get home safe, because I'm sure the storms in Flowery Branch are way worse than this over here on the east side of town. But hey, we're gonna have a great season this year. I'm ready to see what this Falcons do. Day 2 tomorrow, we get to open up to see what the Falcons can do again strategically with the money that they have. Any restructures? Could they go ahead and just extend Drake? Could they go ahead and just look at making some moves so that way they can be on the good side of the fans' emotions? But let's just see. We gotta wait and see. Good first day, but the Panthers and Aints, unfortunately, both made good signings. The Bucks did not. So, we'll see. It's good to have Miss Carey in here talking Falcons football, y'all. You can catch Miss Carey on the show Wednesday nights at 8, Friday mornings breakfast with One Time for the Fan around 9:30, Sunday nights at 8. That's the scheduled podcast. These pop-up shows, because we have so much going on this week, you might see them from time to time. So you got to hit that like, you got to hit that share, you got to hit that subscribe button, so that way you can be updated with the notifications on what we got going on here with One Time for the Fan, because we bring really good content. We're a positive group of podcasters. We keep it real, truly respect the organization, truly respect the fan base, and every comment in the chat too as well. It's One Time for the Fan. It's from the fan. It's for the fan. We just want to let you guys know that we definitely appreciate everybody. That you guys are in here supporting. Fandemic said, that's not a thunderstorm. That's the announcement of Tua coming to the ATL. Sheesh. Hold on. Let me get you, Fandemic.
Sheesh.
Gosh. Sheesh. We got you this year. Keep pounding. Have a good night, brother. Good luck in free agency day 2. Hey, big shout out to Edgewise, man. Big shout out to Edgewise. We got to get better to beat the division champs, right? We got to beat the division champs. Yeah, it's y'all grounds. We coming to take it this year. We coming to get it back. Kerry said, you didn't give me the link. I tried to join. It was an old link. Sheesh. is Carrie. Gosh. I actually didn't even put the link in the chat. I should have put the link in the chat. I know you guys had the great show earlier for like an hour and some change. And I was just thinking, like, hey, I'm just gonna go live real quick. I was really thinking in my mind just to do 30 minutes, 35 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. I did not expect to be on here almost 2 hours talking. Wish you all. But this is great. This is great. Carrie, I'm glad you're here. There's probably going to be another. I saw that. There's probably going to be another pop-up podcast tomorrow. Depends on how it works with the Falcons. Wednesday we have our show. Thursday I'm at the Hawks game. Friday breakfast with One Time for the Fan. Saturdays is golf. We're golfing, baby. And Atlanta United is playing too. Carrie said, yo. I see my kids. They think they slick. Yo. Bring the stuff down. Thank you, sir. I see my kids, they think they slick. They're straight A students though. So being up at 11:20 doesn't I don't get mad at that. Jack said this is all about Kevin Hart tonight. I mean Jack Spade show. This ain't the Jack Spade show. This is One Time for the Fan show. This ain't the Jack Spade show. This is everybody's show. There was no topics, Carrie. I came in here just wanting to talk with the fans. And from the first comment to the last comment was just strictly Falcons football. Tua, Christian Harris, Cameron Thomas, OZ, Jahan Dotson, everything. It was just straight Falcons. We answered so many questions. We talked great Falcons football amongst each other. People sharing their thoughts and opinions in the chat. And that's the cool thing about One Time for the Fan. You know it's from the fan for the fan because you're a part of it, Carrie. We just love and engaging and including everybody with the podcast. So big shout out to Uncle Steve tonight for the super chat too as well. Uncle Steve, make sure y'all go check out his channel. Carrie just said, please hit that like button, everyone. Big Low Country, check out his channel. A1 Forever, Smitty them, go check out their channel too as well. Birdo, Bro Talk, Tidy, Bird Gang, Birdcage, so many people on the mark too as well. Go check out these people's channels. Winston Thornton, check out their channels, man. Georgia, Texas boy. These people talk Falcons. Like if you love what you hear here, I'm sure you're gonna love what you hear over there. Former ATO Sports, check it out. Right? It's going down in a major way, man. So thank you all for being a part of this show tonight. Definitely hit that subscribe. First timers that was in here, hit the subscribe on YouTube. It just goes a long way. It's free. You click the button, you hit subscribe, the little stars and shit pop up. And then you get a chance to follow One Time for the Fan whenever we go live. And then we have something to talk about that you enjoy and you want to talk about it. Come on in here and talk about it. We include everybody. One Time for the Fan. It's always from the fan for the fan, man. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this show up, and we are out of here.